Three cards, four relationships, and I guess we're talking about love, but it can be any kind of relationship, really. Where is yours going? That's the question. And have you even got one? If you haven't, maybe you will have soon. This reading ought to tell you something. We're going to do some tarot cards, and we're going to do some moon oracle cards as well to go with them. This is the first reading I've ever done in public from these moonology cards, which are wonderful. Anyway, first tarot card. We'll turn it over, and it is number 17. It's the Star. Now, what we really need here, more than anything else, is balance. And how are we going to find that balance? You know, even if you're not actually in a relationship, it's finding balance with other people that really brings relationships into our lives. So it is strongly, strongly worth thinking about, particularly as it's come up as the first card in this three-card spread. I'm Andy, by the way. Thanks for joining me. So we see the balance here. This is a lot like the Temperance card, except in the Temperance card, the water is kind of flowing diagonally uphill, which water can't really do. Water is spilling out onto the ground here, and that's something that water really does have a knack for doing. In fact, any liquid does. But it's the balance that's the magical thing. And the naked female form here is showing how natural it really is. And that's the great thing about balance, you know. As we get into more complicated lifestyles all the time and things keep on changing, it's harder and harder to be natural. But the crazy thing about that is we are actually all natural anyway. We're all here for a reason. And however much the world might affect us and play into our lives and change things, we actually are reacting to something natural in that it's something to do with the way the Creator actually made us, the way the Creator made all these stars as well. And when we look up at the stars at night, we tend to think, oh, they're very natural, must be better places than this. We don't really know. That's the truth. We don't really know what's going on in the stars. And it's that unknowingness that gets into relationships absolutely everywhere and absolutely all the time. Even in the most successful long-term and committed relationships, there is always that kind of question, what's going on with the other person? Do I know everything? Do I know it all? And I'm seeing a bit of kind of inquisitiveness about things like that coming in. This card really shows the opposite of that. It shows balance, but that's why it's here as the first card. It's showing us what we actually need to be thinking about. And there is great magic here. We need to think about the cleansing effects of water. If there is no relationship, or if there's trouble with the relationship, why? There's obviously something a bit wrong. So if we visualize and believe, because believing and visualizing go together, really, to manifest anything. If we visualize the water carrying whatever troubles, whatever negative influences there may be away from the scene, then we're going to be getting somewhere, particularly if we can really believe it. And we should believe it because it's natural in every human being to be able to do that. It's a gift that we were born with, and it's not a hidden gift, you know. People use it in their lives all the time. But it's something that's only ever hidden by our own consciousness, our own imagination, that drives us to believe, oh, we can't really change anything. Well, of course we can. Even the bird perched up here could just jump up and fly away at any time. So visualize that cleansing effect. And guys, spend some time in nature if you can. If you're in a relationship and there are problems, get out into nature together somewhere. And, if you live in a big city and you can't just escape as easily as that, and get away from it all, go see a movie that's about nature, or look at some pictures or something, but focus on nature. That's what really matters, because all these little flowers are trying to grow here. They're coming into bud and they've got leaves on them. What's going to happen? Something's going to happen. This card is full of potential. So let's keep moving and have a look at card number 2. And here we are. Now, this is the problem, see? This is what we all do. We all put things off and we all prevaricate. Some people say, no, I'm going to prevaricate tomorrow. I can't be bothered today. But that's the thing. Get it done today. It's number 12. It's actually a very, very magical number. And it does show that the journey is moving, you know. Okay, it's before this one in the major arcana. But At the same time, 12 really is a symbol that we're moving into the next stage of something. Whenever we get to the X, to the number 10, we've completed one part of the cycle, one part of the journey, maybe one cycle of the journey. It all depends which way you look at it. But something has come to completion and it's ready to move on. But we've only kind of got, in numerology terms, we've only come 2 steps. And this is time to actually get busy and do something else. Again, the Hanged Man often comes in as advice to just, hang there, just don't do anything yet, just wait and see what happens. And you may need to do that, but a decision to do that is one thing. Just hanging about because kind of you just can't believe anything good's going to happen to you anytime soon. That's really not the way to handle the energy. Life is a conveyor belt of things happening, and the universe never throws anything at us until we're ready for it. So if your relationship needs fixing, if you need to bring a relationship into being, then think about it. I'm going to say at this stage, because it's the Hanged Man, we are essentially looking at masculine energy that's hanging about. So ladies, maybe your man needs to get busy. Gentlemen, maybe you need to actually get busy and do things to keep things moving. It all depends which way you look at it, really. But there are flowery, well, not flowers, but leaves really kind of hanging off this branch here. So there's life there, there's fertility there. And look at all this spiritual, divine energy in this halo around the Hanged Man's head. That is showing that there is real golden, powerful force ready to happen. And it's a purple background card as well, so healing is really something that's going to be needed here as well. Often when we need healing, or when a situation, something else needs healing, it just doesn't get done because people don't tend to believe it works. I have a friend who's got cancer at the moment, and so far she's beaten all the odds. She's been really through it in a very bad and unpleasant way, and it's looked like things were coming to the end several times, but she's out of hospital and she's okay and she's fighting on. And I believe it's because she is a spiritual healer herself, and she has a great understanding of healing, and she actually believes it works, and that's what makes all the difference in any situation that needs healing. If you don't believe it can heal, or if you think, well, it might heal or it might not, that just doesn't bring the energy to bear anything like as strongly as if you just decide within yourself, yeah, this works, this is going to work. And divine healing always does, by the way. And it heals relationships, it heals illnesses, it heals everything. And if you actually believe, as my friend does and as I do as well, that the healing energy is a real thing that's going to work, then it will work for you, and you'll be able to get down from the tree, or you'll be able to take whatever situation it is down from the tree and keep it moving, and just keep on handling it and keep on allowing life to grow, which life always wants to do. So let's move on. What's card number 3? Aha. And this is why we're putting it off. This is why the balance is needed. This is why we're putting things off. It's because it's the Death card, and it's scarier than it looks. It's 13, so it comes straight after the Hanged Man. These are all major arcana cards, actually, and it wasn't meant to be specifically a major arcana reading. This is just what came out when I shuffled. So this is all very, very close to the human heart. That's what this is all about. And if you're drawn to this reading, it's very close to what you're going through at the moment. And this next step is what needs to happen. We've got the bishop here saying prayers. We've got people looking the other way. We've got a rather kind of disturbed child wondering what's going on here. And we've got someone dead here. But look, there is no blood. And the skeleton is smiling. He hasn't come here to do bad things. He's just come here to move the situation on. And that is what always needs to happen. Because as we were saying here, life is a conveyor belt. Life is a journey. And we do need to keep that energy flowing. We do need to keep going. Because look, over here, between these two distant buildings, the sun is coming up. So life is really strongly indicated by the sun, because the sun is what gives us the warmth to live. It's what grows the food we eat, and that's an analogy, that's a metaphor for whatever's going on in your life at the moment, friends. The sun is about to rise. So what you've got to do, in one of the decks I've got, the death card is of Alice in Wonderland blowing out a candle, and you need to kind of blow out that candle, or in some way shut the door on the past. If it's a relationship issue to do with arguments, then just let those arguments go if they're in the past. What really matters is where you are now and where you're going next. So get down from the tree and crack on with it. Now then, that's the 3 tarot cards. I'm going to open up my Moonology deck now and see what we've got in here. I really enjoy reading with this deck, actually. It's the first time I've made a video with it. So let's give it a good old shuffle. Got all the different phases of the moon indicated there. And I just cut the deck and pulled one out of the middle, and what we've got here is step out of your comfort zone, and it's the North Node. Now the North Node of the moon in your birth chart, whatever's going on in your North Node is about where you're going in life, where the journey of life is actually taking you. The South Node, opposite, it is kind of where you came from, and the North Node is where you're going. So friends, relationship-wise, love-wise, you're going somewhere. You really are. If you were drawn to this reading, you really are going somewhere, no doubt about it, because the moon is always going somewhere. See, there's its path, or its trajectory, as the astronomers would like us to call it, and it's a purple sky. It's a healing kind of sky, and there's great darkness up here, but there's great light growing up into it all the time. And as dark as this is, I rather like this kind of darkness of the sky, because there's something peaceful about it. It's kind of night time, it's sleeping. That kind of sleepy energy comes in when we contemplate the stars. So there it is, my friends. Step out of your comfort zone. That's what really needs to happen. Whatever the North Node gives you in your birth chart, it is really pointing you in the direction of where you need to be going, and it's showing up whatever kind of challenges might come in your way. Well, it's time to overcome the challenges, my friends. Okay, so there is our tarot reading and our moon card for a bit of significance. Where can I put it? Let's put it there, because it sort of came after the death card there. Now then, thanks very much for watching. If any of you would like your birth chart done, I'm a professional astrologer as well as a reader and a spiritualist medium. If you'd like a reading, or if you'd like a birth chart done, do send me a message. They cost a little bit of money. I try to keep the prices down. But basically they do take quite a bit of work, because my birth charts are very detailed, very much more detailed than you would find on a free astrology website, for example. And I do all the planets in your birth chart, and also all the asteroids and how they affect you, and those, you know, whatever influences that they may have on your life. So if you'd like to know more about that, message me for details. My email is in the comments down below there somewhere. And the subscribe button is there as well. Hit subscribe, whatever you do. That really helps the channel, and it really helps me to keep getting the messages out. But if you'd like a reading or a birth chart, 35and83@gmail.com. That's 35and83@gmail.com. And I'll get back to you. I'll always send a birth chart within about sort of maybe 18 hours, maybe 24 hours, but certainly within a day of payment coming through. So get in touch, find out where it's all going for you. I'll be very happy to do that for you, and I look forward to working with all of you in the future, because if you stick around, there are more readings coming all the time. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Thumbs up if you have, subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks very much to all of you who do subscribe and leave comments and things. Leave me a comment, we'll share the journey, and I'll see you again very soon, friends.